This is Later, written by Trin, SSJTrinity. Part 25 of Surrogate, the Director's Cut. The rating is mature. No archive warnings apply. The fandom is Malevolent the Podcast.
Additional tags. She's practically 8. Pity Dis is the only adult in her life shooting straight with her. Warning for a little girl admiring her powerful father. She doesn't know any better. Voices by Vmprsm as the narrator and Faroe, Jasper as Arthur, Igneous as Kayne, Alexis as Dis, LynnLarsh as John, Flamia as Hastur, SSJTrinity, Kraiva, and Somniate as the work introduction. Editing by Flamia. Directed by Vmprsm. Transcript by Saffron. Created and posted with permission from the authors of Surrogate, the Director's Cut.
Faroe is growing up. It's natural she has questions. Unfortunately, most of the adults around her have reason to hide the answers. This will surely end well.
Uncle Arthur?
Arthur keeps playing, though her string accompaniment stopped.
Yes, dear?
What were my parents like?
Arthur freezes, eyes enormous, hands still in the keys.
Told you he'd panic.
She'd been going to ask her dad, but he was in a mood. Not that he ever responded to her in anger, but still, Hastur was all-powerful, and his emotions rocked the world like waves against a shallow boat, and she didn't want to increase his wrath. Carcosa was tense enough as it was.
It's the games.
Dis got in one light punch on Faroe's shoulder. It was a knuckle punch, hardly that harmful, but it still hurt.
Ow!
Don't lay your guard down.
What are the games?
Faroe blocks the next one. Dis's smile is praise.
Showing off. Assholes trying to get your father's attention.
Will Dad be competing?
Fuck no. There'd be no competition if he did. Unless someone of his caliber showed up, and if they did, it would probably be a declaration of war.
Probably?
Faroe tries to pay her back for the shoulder punch and is blocked.
Well, there are other possibilities.
Dis forces Faroe to pivot to keep facing her.
But Hastur is ancient and established, literally one of the great old ones. It could be a proposal for unification and reproduction, that sort of thing. But it's unlikely. He's sown his wild oats already.
Faroe's eyes widen. She knows what that means.
He has?
Sure, just about all of them did.
Faroe stares, her fists lower slightly. Dis doesn't take advantage of that opening, which means she'll take it out of her later. Faroe's face is grim. She concentrates again, stepping, thrusting, keeping it light. No magic. Because she has to be able to fight with both at the same time and independently. She's human. She knows she is a remarkable human, but the things she may have to fight are more. She's distracted, though, because she sees the weird irony of the situation. Her questions are all about parentage right now. Who were her parents? Does Hastur have children? If so, they had to be like him, deific, probably immortal, certainly powerful. Why had he chosen her? The thought is a happy one, but also strange. She has no really good answer. Because he loves me, her heart declares, but that doesn't feel like it satisfies everything. Dis finally makes up for letting things slip earlier and gets a good one in on Faroe's ribs.
Shit! Don't tell him!
Faroe goes red and stomps one foot. Dis waves a hand, and Faroe knows she's safe. There's no adult as good at secrets as Dis in the whole kingdom. Still, this is embarrassing.
Come on, we're not done.
Faroe gets her fists up again.
Damn right we're not.
Dis grins and continues, and does not stop until Faroe is breathing hard. Dad is still in a bad mood. She tries the eavesdropping spell, and all she gets is red tape. So many discussions of placement and wards and defensive spells. That was absolutely not worth an emergency nap. At any rate, she doesn't blame him for being annoyed. Faroe considers trying to research in the library for Hastur's other children when Kayne surprises her by speaking up in the middle of the day. He almost never does when she's outside her room, which makes sense. He is secret. She learned the hard way how secret when she told Nibbles about her secret friend and his volume cut in half, as if he'd grown distant. She'd cried. It had done no good. He'd warned her. She'd learned to trust his warnings.
Hey, Faruffin. You seem a little down.
Oh, hi. I'm not down.
Sure you are. What a cute little pouty face you have.
Faroe has yet to figure out how he can see her. She asked, and he'd said,
That's a secret.
And never answered. It's getting very annoying, the way adults do that.
Well, I have questions, and I can't find answers.
About what?
Kayne eats things while he talks to her sometimes. It's weird. Occasionally, those things squeal.
My parentage, and my dad's get.
Two very different things, my love. Which one do you want to pursue?
Which one?
Faroe frowns.
Why would I have to choose?
Because I'm only giving you a clue to one. You have to choose, Buttercup.
Ugh. Faroe looks at Nibbles.
Every single adult is insane and annoying. We should never become one.
Nibbles nods her approval.
Careful what you wish for.
She tries to apply logic. So, she can ask Hastur about his other children. Failing that, there will be records somewhere about them. Children of gods can't possibly slip completely under the radar, but a couple of humans? She'd never find records on them. She doesn't even know their names.
Fine. My parentage.
An excellent choice. Here's your clue. Arthur knows.
Faroe blinks.
Knows what?
All about it. I promise he knows more than he'll tell you willingly, too. But you know that guy. He's all crunchy pieces of glass in a bag.
Be nice. He's just sad.
Well, he sure is. Did you ever wonder why?
Arthur has always been sad? Right. This is a distraction. Kayne does that sometimes.
I'm sure there is a reason, but it's in the past. So, Arthur has answers about my parentage?
All of them. Good luck getting them out of the poor thing. Just so you know, when you ask, he'll panic.
So Faroe goes to Arthur. And Arthur panics.
Told ya!
She plays her harp a little while he's frozen, just fooling around with the ephemeral beauty of music, there and gone, no song ever the same.
You're asking me?
Dad's busy, and you're my uncle, so It's logical that you would know.
She's got you there, Arthur.
John sounds gleeful about this, and that is so damn weird. Arthur still faces the piano, frozen.
I guess I can ask another time.
No, it's okay. Just don't tell your father you asked me, okay? Or that I told you anything.
Yeah, he'll take it out on Arthur.
What? Take what out on Arthur?
He doesn't want you to know that you're...
Faroe has definitely never heard Arthur talk like that before. This is beginning to feel uncomfortable.
Do you know them?
Arthur slumps.
I did.
He grips his left hand like some kind of life raft, white-knuckled.
Are they still alive?
No.
Arthur, for the love of fuck.
John, shut up. This is mine to tell.
Fine, but you're fucking it up.
Who were they?
Nobody. Absolutely no one. Just people.
What were their names?
Arthur shakes his head.
Your mother was...
John!
Yikes.
John, do you have something you would like to tell me?
No.
Sullen. She will never understand him. Arthur wipes at his face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad.
Practically anything does, but still.
I'll go.
No, it's all right. I haven't talked about this in a while, that's all.
He turns to face her.
Yes, I knew your parents. Yes, they're dead. No, I won't tell you their names.
This all feels very grown up and serious.
What were they like?
Arthur gets a small smile.
You're a lot like your mother. Really clever, underestimated, stubborn, but in a quiet, smart way. Getting what she wanted without throwing tantrums.
Oh.
Did she look like me?
A little. I'm sorry to say you resemble your father more.
Faroe is quite aware she's a lovely child, so she takes that as sarcasm.
And what was he like?
A fool.
Arthur.
He was a fool. He threw away everything good in his life, and only realized too late how foolish he'd been.
Arthur shrugs.
He paid for it, if that helps.
My dad was evil?
No, he wasn't fucking evil. He made mistakes like all people do.
Arthur's face has gone very hard.
He deserved what happened.
His left hand rises and lightly chucks him on the chin.
Am I going to need to hit you again?
Some of the hardness melts.
No.
What happened?
Your father destroyed him. That's what happened. Are you happy now?
Faroe stares. Arthur looks away. What the actual hell?
If my father destroyed him, he must have been evil.
This doesn't make sense.
He was.
No, he was just unlucky.
I didn't like your father. Your mother was lovely. She died giving birth to you, Faroe. She died all alone, and she deserved better.
Arthur.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
He turns back to the piano.
I'm sorry, I can't talk about this anymore.
Thank you, Uncle Arthur.
She touches his arm.
It's more than I've gotten before. Thank you.
He takes her hand and lifts it to his cheek. It's so tender, the way he loves her. She hasn't seen anything like it anywhere else. She leaves him there, wet with tears, leaves him in John's metaphorical hands. John, who is fuming and already beginning to snarl as she exits the doors.
What the fuck was that all about?
Nothing new there. Thus armed, she goes to see if her dad is still super busy. He is still super busy. That's all right. She can wait. She stands patiently outside the war room, waits while beings shout in there, while things are declared, and she smiles, imagining their haughty faces, or whatever body parts they speak from, as Hastur overrides. He's so powerful. He just booms, commands, and no one dares gainsay him. He exemplifies what she's been taught is good ruling. He listens to all sides, and when he acts, it is with justice and fairness and power. She's so proud of him, so proud to be his daughter, so proud to be chosen as his daughter. Whatever Hastur declared is clearly law, because all the arguments stop. Moments later, the door opens, and various beings of madness and mayhem come slinking out like reprimanded children. Now's her chance. She flits in, avoiding all their tree trunk limbs and tentacles with ease.
Dad.
Hello, darling.
He seems a bit weary. The model on the table is quite smashed. She hadn't heard that happen, but it must have been quite an event.
I don't have much time. Did you need something?
Yes.
She's balanced on the precipice of what to ask for all of 2 seconds. About his other children? About who her parents were? No. She knows exactly what to ask.
Why did you make me your daughter?
So he clearly hadn't expected that. She takes some pride in the way he startles, in the undulation of his tentacles, as if, in water, he would have pushed himself inches away. She waits, tries to be patient, but no, the silence is too much.
I'm practically 8, Dad.
I know.
She decides to leverage the information she has.
Were my parents evil?
She didn't expect the growl. She's never liked his growl. She knows it's not aimed at her, knows she's in no danger from him, but it's such a big sound, a primordial sound, a sound that she cannot help responding to, as though it simply bypasses all parts of her brain that reason. He cuts it off a moment later and strokes her arm.
Your father...
Yes?
Still, he hesitates.
Your human father.
Yes?
It's so hard not to make a tactical error here, to push further and say she's old enough, or nearly grown, or any of those things that immediately remind adults that she isn't fully formed. Mentioning her age was risky enough. Faroe literally bites her tongue.
Your human progenitor was unworthy.
Singular?
She already knows, but wants to test him.
Your mother died upon your birth.
Validation.
And my human father was evil.
Yes.
There we go.
You don't go around adopting people from evil fathers normally, though.
She smiles.
Ah, my darling.
He caresses her cheek.
You are worth so much more than he ever was. I had to. I couldn't leave you where you were.
She tilts her face into his touch.
What happened to my human father? How did you come into contact with him anyway? And me?
He took something from me, and he will not give it back.
That is staggering. Her mouth hangs open. She can't help it. Her composure is gone. Popped.
Took something? From you?
From me.
He strokes her hair.
Darling, I must meet with these fools.
There are beings outside the door, trying and failing to be secretive in their phlegmy muttering. She is still staggered.
What could some human take from you?
Later. So that was the end of this conversation. She hates to admit to herself that she might be storming out. Just a little. Later. Why was it always later? What did they think they had to tell her that she couldn't handle now? She'd memorized epics, studied the fall of empires, analyzed the ending of entire civilizations and species.
He doesn't want you to know that you're...
John had said that much. She guesses the end of it.
Father is evil.
Well, it is upsetting.
I don't suppose you know what was taken from my father.
Faroe volleys in Kayne's direction. He usually doesn't answer if she reaches out. She hardly expects him to reply now, but he does.
I sure do. But you already chose, Faroe. No take-backsies.
He means that. He always does. Ugh. All the grown-ups were jerks today. Fine. Well, if Kayne knew, then other people would know too. It obviously wasn't a secret. She'd find out what was taken from her father, and find out what was done to the thief. It feels weird, honestly, to know that the man who made her was evil. Does that make her evil? No, it doesn't. It still feels really weird. At least she no longer needs to wonder why her human progenitor had been destroyed. The foolishness to steal something from the feaster from afar, the lord of interstellar spaces. Nibbles digs at the floor with her hoof, a clear invitation.
Yes.
Faroe tilts her chin up.
Let's go outside and play.
Nibbles chews at herself a little and produces a piece of bark, which she lives up to her name by shaping on the way out. They play the rest of the afternoon, throwing the wooden disc back and forth. And Faroe laughs, and Faroe wears herself out, and Faroe is already sleepy when dinner time arrives. Hastur, caught in meetings, does not come to dinner. Arthur, for unknown reasons, doesn't come to dinner either. Faroe feeds half her plate to Nibbles and grows more determined than ever to learn as much as she can, though that might have to wait until the games are done. Responsible gods like her father were often very busy, after all. Later could not come soon enough.
If you enjoyed this production of Surrogate, the Director's Cut, please read the original written work on AO3, where it is still actively updating as of December 2024. A link is in the work notes, where you can also find the social medias of all the production cast. Malevolent was written and produced by Harlan Guthrie, and all characters depicted here belong to their respective creators. The cast and management produced this show for no monetary gain, and all rights remain with the authors. Any sound effects or music used in this production were obtained legally or are created by the production cast. Please let us know your thoughts, and as Kayne would say,
stay tuned for the next episode!